Hello. Hey. Okay. I think it works now. Fuck. Uh. All right. We have one person watching. I guess it's like early. It's like 11:45 a.m. right now here in Berlin. I bet everyone's like at work doing important stuff. But yeah, this is more or less work for me. So blub. Are we live? Yeah, we're live. Seems to all be working. Right, let me listen back. I can't listen back. Yeah, okay, this works. Great. All right. Good morning, everyone. All right. So I just went to get a coffee, and I wasn't sure what I was gonna do today, so I figured might as well stream or something, right? Like yesterday, we were like streaming for like 3 hours, 2.5 ish, that ballpark. Think of doing like 2 short hours today. Just work on some like hypercore stuff. Um, yeah, no. Oh, hold on. Not much else. Um, what else? What else? Probably merge a few PRs. I've not really been keeping up a lot with you, um, but I might do a little bit of that this weekend or like some other weekend. But yeah, we got like a really fun PR here. I merged this PR yesterday on Merkle Tree Stream. Or Merkle Tree Stream, you can add data into this streaming thing, and it passes it through like the leaf and the parent methods, and it creates like a tree of nodes based on the data you pass it in. It's kind of fun. But so this person had a test because I was like, hey, yo, what would be really useful is if someone would add a bunch of tests to this thing. And so they did that, and that was great. And now we have tests. So I merged that yesterday. And I made this other PR, which allows us to use generics, which I'm really excited about. Because basically what that means is we used to have this node type. I can actually show you the difference in docs. Docs, there we go. So signatures, yada 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 yada. Oh wait, I can barely see. No, that works more or less, sort of. So you have this node type, and then here inside the leaf method, you get a vector of nodes, and here you get 2 nodes, and you need to return a byte buffer again. So the way, like these types, they're defined inside this module. And the thing that we needed to do is because Hypercore has a node type here, which is slightly different, but has a few methods on it to create a new one, to create from a vector, to write it to a vector. Actually, this is 2 bytes. 2 bytes. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in there from vec. Also is again not true. From bytes. Cargo check. There we go. No to vec. Yeah. Anyway, so we had that type, and we also had this type, and we like needed to more or less, it wasn't working out that great, so we made a new thing. Cargo doc -- open. So basically what we did is we replaced the node type with a node trait, and then we created a new struct named default node. So there's a trait named node, and you implement this on your own struct, and then default node implements node. Where is it? Come on. Impl node, auto trait implementations, deref target option methods from partial. Oh god, where is it? There we go. Oh, or not. Parents hash? No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it went. Oh, here. like we're implementing this for that, and then that turns out nicely. I don't know why these are so long form though. Method deref is none, as ref, as mut, iter. That was pretty interesting. All right. So what else is here? Nothing much. Anyway, like all those tests are passing, which means we can probably just merge it. Yeah, let's just merge it. There we go. And there's going to be a new minor version because we're still in the 0.x branch or line of releases. So I go here, we pull it, and then we say, please release. So CPV minor, which is our own custom little release script. It's kind of useful. Got myself a little flat white in here. Really excited. Went to the coffee shop this morning. Also got myself a little book about like types, or what was it? Typography stuff, like fonts. I was like, yeah, it seems like fun. It's pretty cool. Oh, fuck. Oh, there's a second little book inside of it. Just like this little book. Looks pretty nice. It's got like fonts and stuff. I thought it looked cool. Didn't cost too much, so I was like, sure, I'll get it. Yep. that's my little story there. All right, so this works, which is now the 0.4 release. Then we can go into Hypercore. Cargo check. It's going to be complaining about the 2vec stuff. No method named 2vec, no method named from vec in storage mod both. /2 mod 2vec 2 bytes from vec from bytes. There we go. Then we try this again and it passes. Rename vec. There we go. And then we go here and then we do Merkle tree stream. Replace that with that, and then we do that. Oh, come on, replace that with 4, replace that with 0. Cargo check. So it re-downloads it. It should try and build it again. This is all fine. I don't know what this means though. Oh, can't return without recurring. Ooh, that's bad. Recursive call site, self-dead nodes. Uh-oh. Merkle. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. All right, we should fix that because that's just gonna infinitely. Oh, that's so fun. Like this thing infinitely loops, and Rust warns about it. It can't like guarantee that shouldn't, but warns about. That's probably a bad idea. I like that. We should probably fix that warning. Upgrade Merkle tree stream. So because this already compiles as we could probably do CPV minor again. Try and upgrade this thing. Whoop. Add example V minor. Let's try again. Also, if you're like just tuning in, welcome. Don't be shy to say hi. We don't have any regular streaming hours and we're working on some Rust stuff today. So just trying to make a little bit of progress on this peer-to-peer project. god. I'm like, on one side, I'm like kind of excited to go to Portugal next week, but on the other hand, I'm just over travel. I just want to hang out home and like go to the gym on a regular schedule, figure out how to sleep normally, enjoy the weather. Just spend less time on airplanes and airports, and it's also like not cheap because no companies are paying me for this stuff. So yep. All right. Whereabouts are we with this? I wonder if the docs are updated. Probably not. But that's alright. Alright. We can refresh this like in a bit and tweet about it. Alright. So that works, that works, that works, that works. This works. Oracle tree stream works. Simple tests, that's good. Has this been updated? Go to the latest version. There we go. That's the latest version. Oracle tree stream 0.4. What is that? And then includes generics, so you can trait types, so you can define your own output types. Includes traits. All right, and then the second tweet, let's see if this one, yeah, there we go. Oh, it's still working on it. So it probably said, hey, here's like an update, and then, you know, it, whoa. My phone just started doing stuff. There we go. 0.4, 0.3. I don't know. Alright. What else? So if we do a cargo check here, it says, yo, you got recursion going on in Merkle. So on line 65, it says function nodes, self.nodes. That's better. So if we now do a cargo check, it will tell us, should slim this down just a little bit further? That's great. Let's slim this down a little bit like that. Great, wonderful. It's complaining about something not working. So we expected type standard vec storage node, but we're getting type standard vec RC of node. So every single node is wrapped inside of an RC, which stands for a reference counter, which means we can have read-only access to them in multiple places without it conflicting, which is really nice. So yeah. All right. So we should say this is RC of node. And we can remove the storage prefix. There we go. And self nodes on crypto Merkle line 56. So line 56, self.nodes, and it says vec storage node, RC of node. And now the function calling that will not be happy about it, which is all right. So it must be a borrowed vector of RC node. So expected type that got the, oh, actually, is that true? Get the nodes from struct. Yeah, no, that's gonna not work. Okay, check again. All right, so now we have a problem where it says cannot iterate. Okay. But before we do that, we can remove the self here because we were only referencing it for node. Huh. I wonder why that didn't autocorrect. lib.rs. Line 99. Format in nmod nodes. .iter. Cargo check. Immutable borrow occurs here. Mutable borrow occurs there. Self.merkle next. Fuck. Cannot borrow as mutable, nodes not clear. So this is generally the Rust experience for complicated enough stuff. Variable does not need to be mutable. Okay, we can deal with the warnings later, but line 102 and line 88, 94. Okay, so 88 and 94. 88 and 94. So here we're doing let-mod nodes is self-merkle.next data, which gives us nodes, which is again next. So we borrow nodes there. And then here we say let-mod roots for nodes in node.iter hash from roots self-merkle roots self.merkle.roots. Alright. So this does mutate it, which means this one does need to come later. Alright. Does this solve it? Oh, we need to semicolon it there. Probably not. So cargo check. Still the same error. Node's clear, cannot borrow mutable. Oh, actually, cannot borrow as mutable. Self-storage put node on line 102. nmod node.iter nmod node. Format node in. Alright, that's weird. So we get nodes somewhere, right? I'm just starting to guess. Fuck. Counter for type 4 underscore let-mod nodes.iter. Cannot borrow mutable, borrowed content as mutable, cannot borrow as mutable. So 102, 96, 89. That's funny stacking. Yeah, hey, welcome to the stream. Yep, you're entirely right. Anyway, glad you joined. This is me fighting the borrow checker. It's great though. I don't mind it at all. Oh, we can delete that line, by the way. Like the way I like to think of it is that at least I'm fighting it now, so I don't need to worry about race conditions later. So I'm like, yeah, solving race conditions with a program that helps me solve race conditions could be a lot worse. Because yeah. But stacking, you do rest too? Or just interested, or all right, let's see. What type of errors are we getting? So this one's a bit distracting. So line 87, if we remove the mut there. Cargo check, immutable borrow occurs here. Oh, I think we might need to return the nmut vec. Is that right? So we get nodes, and then what do we do with the nodes? Nodes.clear. Okay, so we can remove that because we shouldn't be doing that. Immutable borrow occurs here. Oh, you dabble in Rust. Cool. Yeah, I've been doing it for about 2 months now, maybe a bit more. Sort of tried like on and off for a couple of years, but I just didn't have the patience or experience to like get started. But finally started. And how are you finding it? What types of stuff are you like working on? In this channel, we're like mostly doing building peer-to-peer stuff, like all the lower level bits, so like data structures and all the other stuff. Kind of curious what other people are doing. So self-Merkle roots happens there. Immutable borrow happens there. Self-Merkle.next data. So self-Merkle.next data happens there. Oh yeah, because the actually this doesn't matter. Yeah, come on. Because it get passed outside the scope, so then the borrow continues. So self.merkle.roots. So nodes. So we have nodes there. We iterate over nodes there. We say hash from roots. Self.merkle.roots. Fuck. So we do want to borrow there because it progresses the thing. Oh, cool. So stacking says, I just do small personal projects, nothing major. I'm still trying to get my coworkers to switch over some of our low-level projects to us. Oh, cool. Sounds like you work at some company. You do like what kind of low-level stuff would that be? I'm kind of curious what people like tend to work on. So I wonder. It's like the the thing that I'm feeling like Rust is really good for is anything that needs stability. You build in Rust because it's just going to be stable and work reasonably efficient. I don't know. Maybe someone should do like a good session on, hey, all the benefits of Rust that aren't just performance, or that aren't like, someone yesterday was asking about, is Rust, or hey, how are you enjoying Rust as a functional language, or is it your first functional language? I was like, yeah, it's not a functional language. So I don't know. I feel there's a good amount of misconceptions about it because there's a lot of hype around it. But yeah, I'm curious I'm just curious about people's opinions about stuff. I always like that. All right. So I think. Oh hey, cool. Hey, welcome to the stream again. Rihanna says, I'm having a fun time with the events module again today. Testing timings out on IE. Test timings out. Oh, fuck. God. Yay, race conditions, right? Probably. Oh, by the way, stacking. Have you seen this? Oh, God, I really gotta sneeze. I'm still sick, by the way. Which is not a pretty sight. Yay. Actix web. If you're going to be building like HTTP servers, this package might be your best bet for now. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. All you need to do is like define functions, and then you hook them up into like this main thing, and then this main thing makes sure that you get like the right things. So you can say app.new route, and then that's just like a basic route with like a method and whatnot. but you can also do app.resource, I believe, and then you get to like define a subtree with a bunch of middleware and whatnot. You can also like hook up middleware in front of everything. So you would, for example, put your rate limiting all the way at the start, and then like your authentication middleware down on your like resource level. And you know, it's I think as far as things go, this is pretty good. Also, what was it again? Here, plain text, whatever. It ranks here, like at the very top almost. Oh yeah, no, Rocket's terrible. Like I tried Rocket at first too, but like requires compiler plugins. It has its own whole DSL. It looks more like a giant experiment than something someone like actually built to like be good or something. I don't know. I was not impressed. Versions, build history. Oh no, it stopped building. What? Also, hey, welcome Root CSGO. Let's take a look at this. We're going to just really want to serve some files over HTTP right now. Okay, cool. Pretty recent. Mini serve. Linux distro ISO. Amazing. Oh, require username and password. Okay, brilliant. That's great. So, I really want to write a thing. Probably should write a thing about how every like HTTP server is just a command line tool. And this for example is amazing. Like how do you? This is just great. Yeah, I like this a lot. Just be like, here, let's serve up a bunch of stuff and like let's get stuff right. And hopefully they're using a bunch of modules, so you can like recreate it if you want to. It's gonna be fast. It's gonna be efficient. I like that. Phew. All right. Yeah, Rocket. I was so disappointed when I first tried it out. But luckily things are like moving along. The thing I don't like about Actix Web mostly has to do with the way futures work right now in the language, and that's like being worked on. Also, it only accepts one SSL library, which isn't great, but they're like nitpicks. It's good. It's good enough. The underlying actor model stuff is really interesting also, but it's probably more if you're building like a backend service that isn't necessarily HTTP based. It's just got some really good ideas, so I'm pretty stoked about it. All right, so what we're doing here, maybe what we should do is self Merkle next should not progress to the next one, so it should oh yeah, stacking futures have been finally merged into Rest this week, so we should see some major changes soon. Yes, but this piece of news might have like slipped under the radar, but without bots, their laptop broke while in Paris, and they're mostly responsible for getting it done. So it's got a few weeks delay now, which is a bit funny, but you know, it'll probably still be there for this year. I'm really excited about it. So yeah, small delays, but yeah, I'm also like really excited about it. Especially like async iterators. That's just like the best idea. I think that's the end game of streams, probably syntax wise. Just be like, for await foo in bar, and then you get a foo from a bar, and that's it. And that's all you need, and you get to like exit the loop as soon as you want. It only took them 3 years to even talk about futures, so what's the rush now? Great point. So because I'm rather new to the language, it's for me it's like, oh hey, cool, like we've been getting all these features in like the last 8 weeks. When are we getting like all the features? And it's kind of funny. Yeah, but it's terrible, by the way. So Rihanna says you can do async iteration on Node.js streams now, and yeah, no, it's just a giant hack. I was there last year when we were talking about it. Also, I'm still in the streams working group. I haven't like done any work in like a year now, so blah. But yeah, that doesn't seem like it seems like a great idea syntax wise, but it's a bad idea in how it's implemented for sure. Yeah, but V8 might be optimizing promises soon because they finally figured out like they didn't even know that they were creating for every await call like 4 separate promises. Yeah. In like JavaScript. Also, the other fun one is that the .then call. If you don't do .then.catch, but instead .then and pass a second function, which is the catch function, it saves you the creation of a full promise. So in a hot path, that will be optimized. I was hanging out with Matteo last week, and he like built a whole tool to like figure this stuff out, which there'll be some release at some point for this tool. But it's really cool to be able to like look at this stuff and be like, holy shit, all these like weird performance things popping up. All right, so we're getting a next. Oh. Yeah, so self-stream next, we should not be really turning anything. All right, so that node's self-merkle next. Let nodes equals nodes. Oh, interesting. Ah, I did not realize that. If you right, so what you're saying is the second handler won't handle errors for if you do foo.bar.baz, right? foo.then.bar.then.baz, it won't catch it for like the first foo or something, right? If you put it in the last one. Is that what you're saying? Oh, Stacking asks, what's this project you're working on? I forgot to ask. Cool. Yeah, sure. So I'm working on porting this thing, which is a BitTorrent-like peer-to-peer data transfer protocol to Rust. So basically, what I explain this like every single time, but it allows you to share data on with peers, and it's like fully encrypted. So it makes sure. Sorry, is it fully encrypted? Yeah, it's fully encrypted over the wire. You can verify that it's like the right data. It's got some other cool properties. You can sparsely replicate it, and you can append to it, which are all different things than BitTorrent does. Even like having a variable chunk size is different from BitTorrent. It's kind of useful. So yeah, it's peer-to-peer protocols in Rust. So here I'm doing this Merkle thing because we have a verify method. Where's the verify method? No, this is the append method. Ah, fuck. Right, so I'm supposed to like a.catch b, it will be handled by b. If a throws in a dot then B, it will be return rejected promise and B will not be called. Oh, fuck. Alright. Alright. That's interesting. I did not realize that. Thanks for clarification. So, Comrade Rihanna just made like a really useful comment there. I think this just adds to why I don't use promises, because this looks very complicated to me. And I literally do not want to reason about the way this works. Like I understand what's going on, but I'm like, yeah, I'll shoot myself in the foot if I try and implement this in like a real thing. So blah. But then the thing is, the first version creates like 2 extra promises, I believe, and the second one doesn't. So if you're in complete control of your code, then you know the first version, then the second version will be better. Yeah. All right, let's take a look here. So the problem is that we're borrowing data where? Oh, it's in the description below. It's called Workrave. It yeah, definitely helps with stuff like RSI. Let's take a look. There we go. Self storage dot put signature index signature. All right. Cargo check. So what's going on here? All right, 2 complaints. It says cannot borrow node as mutable. Self storage dot put node. Line 100. All right, so here it's saying cannot borrow this node as mutable. All right. Probably should be. Should it be? Probably should be. All right. Self.storage.put node. Oh yeah. Should not. That's right. Shouldn't be mutable. Types differ in mutability. Put node and mut node and buff. Node buff. Is not an iterator. Alright, so we need to end nodes dot iter. Mut node 2 bytes as bytes. Oh, fuck, I think 2 bytes result vec and self.hash. It shouldn't be mutable here. There we go. And this isn't like 2 bytes, it's as bytes. Vec. Oh fuck. No, it's 2 bytes, it's 2 bytes. It doesn't consume it. If it consumed it, it would become in 2 bytes, which it doesn't. So it's just 2 bytes. And then we create a new writer. So we do a new allocation here, which is useful. Then we write into it. Okay, great. Cargo check. So for node and nodes, I think this should still work. Self.storage.put node. Wonder if this works. It still works. Great. We can reduce this even further, like that. for node in self merkle.nodes, self storage put node node. All right, beautiful. We just fixed our method. Fix all errors. Let's see if we can do like a small release, because I kind of want to link to the docs because I think it might be useful. But yeah. Kya 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 kya. All right. Stacking says you aren't writing tests, are you? Sorta. So right now, the thing I'm working on is getting the verify function to pass, which is a test I wrote earlier, but it isn't passing because we haven't implemented the stuff yet. I'm just copying the test from the original implementation. So the first milestone was getting like just a very simple test to pass, which is the first one. We append some data and then we get some data from the index we appended it into, right? So this is 0, that's 1, and we read it back out 0 and 1. But we try to copy like the whole intermediate logic to get all this stuff working exactly like it used to be. You know, that seemed to work, and then we can like progress on to the next one. So here we go, and then, you know, the feed.verify stuff isn't working, and that's a problem, so we try and figure that one out. But we can actually make the first test pass. I hope. Oh fuck, we're not. Thread append panic that not yet implemented. Uh-oh. Yeah, I guess they panicked again. Crypto, Merkle. Oh, you scared me that you didn't run tests before the commit, so I was just making sure. No, you're totally right. I didn't run any tests before the commit. But the way I operate is more or less, I'm just, because it's just me working on it. I don't have any coworkers, right? I get to more or less go as wide and deep as I want to, whatever is most comfortable. I don't need to polish everything at the same time. It's also a very first implementation, right? So if someone wants to do a big contribution, there's like separate projects in parallel that people can work on, or go back into like the more stable stuff and like try and optimize that or figure out that or write more tests for that. But this is just me messing around because I'm optimizing for one person getting this thing done as fast as possible. So yeah, sometimes tests break, and then we like go back and we figure out what we broke, and then we like go back in. Like right now, for example, we're just trying to get all the tests to compile, and then we get to go back. And like I fucked up. Like this thing should be working, but it's not. Why not? Because, you know, I just was lazy yesterday. I forgot to actually add in some of this stuff. Yeah. Hope that makes sense. Hope that doesn't scare you too much. It's very different from working in a setting with coworkers, working by yourself. You get to cut a lot of corners in many ways, which is, you know, sometimes good, sometimes not good. Sometimes you need to like switch gears. But yeah. I'm kind of lucky in the sense that I don't have too many like people helping out yet. Yep. Lucky and unlucky, I guess. All right. So what did we want to do? We wanted to figure this one out. So that's example, I believe. So node, default node, some data clone. All right. So we need to do this thing, which I not a fan of. Let data match stuff index node, I believe. We're calling it node? Yeah, we're calling it node. Cargo check. Hey, Jesse. Welcome. Node data from bytes. New node data. Data vec capacity 0. Data is a vec of U8. Missing field data and initializer of storage node missing data. All right, so line 29 is a data vec with capacity 0. I think this just makes it empty alloc. And then we go back here, and then this should work-ish, hopefully. Expected struct vec found enum standard option. All right. Sum data option, and then on 50, 61, sum, like there. Field hash is private. Ah, fuck off. Is it really gonna complain about that now? Crypto Merkle. Come on, really? Really? Bullshit. How are you, by the way, Jesse? Nice of you to join. I'm feeling very relaxed today, by the way. Like my I was afraid I was like getting an ear infection yesterday. And just so much better. Cold today. Oh yeah, I forgot. You're like in Berlin. Ha. Yeah, like the weather's so much colder today. I went out in shorts. Fucking sucked. I was like, oh yeah, sure, shorts and winter jacket. I was like, I refuse to take off my pants and swap them around. So yeah, just went for a coffee around the corner, but fuck, it was cold. Thank you. Freezing in jeans and a hoodie. God damn, that's rough. Let's take a look. Back found option Merkle. Data. Some, none, some, data, clone. Cargo check. Oh, there we go. All right. Pub crate. There we go. Hey, it compiles again. Same here. Oof, rough. I guess Europe's just like gotten hit by the Russian winds or something. And pleasure put it in freedom. So by across the pond, what do you mean? Are you like an Aussie? Or US? I'm not sure. Because I know in Australia I used to say like across the pond because literally everything else is far away. I think it's like what, 17 degrees? 27, 15? Let me check. It's 14 degrees and cloudy. So no sunshine to heat you up. US, cool. All right, cool. So check this out. Our tests are passing again. Fix, get, set, tests that. I'll go here. Oh, sorry, tests feed. Oh, all right, and now we have compilers again. USA. So which part from? Probably East Coast somewhere, I'm guessing, because it's like, what time would it be in? On top of my head, it's like 4 a.m. in California right now, or something. $4 a.m. would be like very early for people to tune into a Twitch stream, I think. Right, let's take a look. So this is saying it's having errors. Not there, not there. So slash verify 0, signature unwrap. So lib verify. Oh, index signature public key. Right. 3:30 California, and yes, I'm on the East Coast. Ah, yeah. All right. All right. So we shouldn't be passing a public key here because it needs to have its own public key. So self.keyPair. Right. Let public key equals self.keyPair.public key, I believe. God, I had to wake up at like 4 a.m. 2 days ago, which was rough. Catch a plane from Italy back to Berlin. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that ever again. I hope, at least not sometime soon. Self dot key pair dot public key. Let's see if this works. Cargo T is probably gonna complain. Key pair. Where's the key pair? Oh, that's a key pair. And that's gonna fill again. Public key, unknown field. Oh, public. Okay. Expected reference. All right, fine. God damn it. Immutable borrow occurs here. Immutable borrow occurs there. Fuck. And self key pair the public. Let roots. Self roots. Crypto public key checksum by its signature. From roots and roots. Let roots. Damn it. So line 135 borrows and line 136 borrows also. I wish they would figure out that this is perfectly fine. Because we're accessing different fields in the struct. It should be all right. But apparently it's not. So I'm guessing we're gonna have some trouble here. Or not. Dup. Alright. Alright, that's reasonable. At least we're compiling now. Yeah, it's always weird when you do like a intermediate allocation to like a variable or something. You get something, you allocate, you assign it to a variable, and then you pass that variable around, and it's like, oh no, you can't do that. But if you inline it, it's all right, which is weird. Because then I think it figures out that it's just for this scope. It's like a different thing you're accessing, something like that. compile, verify, test. Stacking says, I'm assuming this is using public-private key crypto, so now I'm wondering how that works with multiple people in a peer-to-peer network. Guess I'll have to go read. So the system is very simple in right now, where you have one author that has a private key, and you share the public key or a hash of the public key. Actually, you share the public key, and people connect through finding the hash of the public key or like DNS or whatever. And they can decrypt the data, and they don't get to write. If they want to write something, they create their own archive, and they share their public keys around. And now we're getting this cool thing called HyperDB. It's all built in JavaScript, by the way. So I'm slowly porting this to Rust, which is more or less the point. But the JS version of the DApp protocol is getting something called HyperDB, which allows multiple people to have their own feeds of data. So they have their own private keys and they share their public keys. But then by having all those feeds of data, everyone puts their changes in there, right? And you get to get a different view of the world based on all those changes. And there's some stuff in there to make it like more deterministic and like make sure that the ordering's right and all that other stuff. But that's how we do collaboration. Like do multiple authors by everyone making their own author, and you get to figure out all the changes that everyone made individually. So it's, you know, that's how you do multiple people. Hope that makes sense. All right. Cargo check. All right, so that works. Cargo T, that doesn't work. Unused import public key. All right, let's fix out all of our. Let's get all these. It says public key in librs isn't used and pathbuff isn't used either. So public key. And pathbuff isn't used. Cargo T. Oh, what? Sure, it's used. Use standard pathbuff. Oh, probably in the main. There we go. Fixed all the warnings, but not our tests. All right, I've got to take a break the moment the break thing pops up again, because I think it's a good time to take a 5-minute break. Cargo check. Cargo T. Enable cargo clippy. Yeah. So that doesn't seem to work. Oh, actually, dash force. Let's see if this works. Hope it does. Maybe we can like figure out some clippy annoyances before we make some actual progress on the verification stuff. Just some like low key updates. Oh fuck! I bet the stream's gonna lag now. Really nice -20. So p grep OBS 2023299. There we go. All right, I'm gonna take a break. Be right back. Oh my god. I'm reading your comment stacking, and that's fucked up. That's so fucked up. May I explain why like Rust format is also not working right now? Yeah, that just sucks. That's. I'm just reading this comment right here. Events 3.0 fixed on IE9 for Windows. Oh my god. That's absurd. That's really cool though. Were you like running a VM or something? Damn it, I can't eat and like stream at the same time. There's like too much stuff on my little desk here. I'm gonna put this away. Letting air tap run on sauce apps. Cool. Yeah. All right. Let's try this out again. So, if everything. Oh, by the way, can you tell me if the stream still works? I'm not sure. I just ran Renice, which means my OS should be prioritizing OBS over everything else, but I'm not sure. So if there's anything not working on stream, please do let me know. I'd be real curious to hear, because it might be running at 100%, but should, like, you know. Fuck, the video's choppy. Okay, but the audio is fine. No. I'm not doing it then. So I ran Renice, which should change the niceness level. So minus 20 should have been make OBS run really fast. HTOP F3 OBS. Right. But then like OBS has so many like sub processes, which is really fucked up. So I might target at just one, but then all the sub processes don't get like accepted, which is not great. So blab. I guess Renice doesn't work, which is a bummer. Right, so I need to limit Cargo's efficiency when installing stuff, I guess. All right, no worries. So this is still failing, and we need to figure out why. Let's take a look at our build here. Maybe we can figure out some stuff from here that we should have been doing, but aren't doing. Build history. Compile, verify tests. Is Clippy not working? Oh, damn it. Guess it's the output command that's screwed up. NCI gpush. There we go. All right. Ooh, stuffed coffee. Yeah, so we have two options now. We can start fixing Clippy bugs, but Clippy hasn't run in a while, so it's hard to tell where and what. Or we can actually try and fix the actual functionality, which I think might be the better option. Yep. Okay. Oh, by the way, this is the way this thing is up right now. So we got 1,200 lines, 1,100 lines, of which most are Rust. It's kind of fun. If we count white space, it's like 1,600. I believe we might be getting to like 5,000 ish. And this is like just for this project. Like I guess we're at quite a few. Written about 7,000 lines of Rust. Actually, that's quite a lot. Damn it. Oh. So 7,000 lines of Rust are going into the thing, which ends up being about 300 kilobytes compressed, 600 kilobytes uncompressed, which is kind of cool. And we should probably be maxing out around the 1 megabyte range. Like we have most of the stuff done already, so that's quite good. 1 megabyte's not bad for a package that does as much as Hypercore does. Be like, oh, here's an embedded database that's 1 megabyte. Size of binary. Footprint. Oh, cool. So, and SQLite is about 500 kilobytes. It's kind of fun. Right there. So between 1 megabyte to 500 kilobytes. That's cool. All right. So if we run a test, right? Cargo test. Feed. So now it just runs this one, which is a lot faster. Rust, backtrace. Let's figure out where our test is failing. Unwrap filled, test feed, closure. So test feed line 40. Line 40. So function verify. Check out lib test. All right. So it's the catch on wine stuff, which is fine. Feed with storage, append. So we need to be able to pass the key from the feed, which is okay. So maybe we need to add that functionality because it's already compiling, but you know, that's like not working. All right, let's take a look at Hypercore at the verify method. Bar self index signature callback, so it just takes an index and a signature, which is correct, and then it checksums the whole thing based on that key was passed. So that evil feed with storage unwrap, pass key from feed, we can ignore that. So what we do here is we append both feeds, and then we verify this one, we verify this one, And then we try and make sure that this is indeed an error, right? In this case, it will actually pass. That's fine. Unimpl, just so we can remind ourselves. Fix me. Feed requires the key from feed. So we can tell, hey, this test isn't done, so even if we exit, we still fail. Right, and we still fail based on this thing. There we go. So now we have all this stuff. Let's try and figure out a way to make this pass. Let's see where we're getting an error, which seems to be, it says couldn't satisfy length. Could not. Oh, what? Could not satisfy length. Key pair, unsure. Signature verification failed. Merkle tree stream. Could. Also no. So we need to go into this one and we need to figure out where it comes from. All right. So it says some details are omitted, yada 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 yada. Sin internal backtrace, blah, 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 blah. Test feed RS40, test feed, checkout, libcore macros, panic format, begin panic format. Ugh. All right. Kind of curious where this comes from now. All right. So source libcore result, panicking default hook, panicking backtrace. We're not doing anything async, so it should show the full trace. Test run, closure, libcore, data res, hypercore source lib 124. There we go. Verify. 124, signature, storage mod, next signature. Random access read. Internal backtrace, new and resolved. So failure, error message. There we go. Random access memory. Read. Storage. The main one seems to be next signature. There's a new Reddit layout? I'm not noticing it. Or do you like mean on mobile? Like on mobile, I'm okay with it. I haven't seen a new one on desktop. I don't use desktop that much. I'm mostly like a mobile person, I guess, for Reddit. Oh, interesting. You must have opted out. You need to log out, I guess. Oh, interesting. Well, I like the new mobile one. I never used the desktop one, so maybe I'll like it. So no opinion. I haven't seen it. Well, I can't, but it's a new one in incognito. Oh, interesting. Oh, actually, we can try that. Reddit.com. Nope. Still looks like the old one. Maybe in Chrome? More? No? What's going on? Beta.reddit.com? Also no. Weird. Oh, here we go. You're in beta mode. Go to r/beta. What does it look like? Yeah, they're exactly that. Redesign or Google Classroom. Yeah, fair chance of that. This guy uses Linux. Let's not give it to him. Reddit redesign. I'm kind of curious what it looks like now. We're redesigning Reddit. Oh, new.reddit.com. All right, that's new.reddit.com. Nope, not for me. Looks exactly the same. Post flare 3 days ago. Screenshots. Flare styling. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I don't mind it, I think. Looks sleek. Yeah. I think they might legit be doing what they're saying there. Wait. Can so new.reddit.com, right? And then we go here and we can mess around with the network stuff. How do we change our user agent again? On yeah. User, how can I know how to do it on Chrome. Ah, fuck. Okay, fine. Chrome unstable. Give me that. Please give me. See, they're just figuring out that I'm a Firefox, and they're like, nah, you can't get it. Let's take a look. Yeah, I'm alright with this. I don't mind it too much. This looks weird, but whatever. That looks just weird. Check this out. They fucked up the styling there. Oh well. Yeah. Do I like the fonts? Oh my god, fuck off with that stuff. You can always visit old Reddit or just dismiss this banner. Interesting. You don't like that images are expanded by default. Oh, interesting. Huh. Interesting. Oh, so lasagna. Do you also get the new one, or? Because I don't know. I mostly like use I just use Reddit to browse the Rust subreddit and like the one for pocket operators, and that's it. You have the new one. Oh fuck! Why why am I being singled out here? It's not fair. Nah, it's probably fair, but the incremental rollout's weird. Theta pen B test. Oh yeah, that's fair. Maybe they're like taking some design notes from Facebook, where they're like, "Hey, you should spend more time on our website, more time, you know, bigger scroll throughs. The moment you start scrolling, you keep on scrolling, and like, the dark design patterns optimized for user engagement. Try and get people to spend as much time as they can on your I don't know. I don't like that. I like the quick digest stuff also. Here's another like fun thing that I was like thinking about this morning. How good would it be if news would just be daily? So a lot of websites, you know, you check in, then 5 hours later you check back in again, and there's like new stuff. And like a couple hours later you check back in again, there's new stuff. You know, there's ways of getting like a whole fire hose. It just like plays into addictive behavior. But if you could like get a summary of stuff once a day, like here's your email for today, and then you're like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna like do all my email and like done, right? And nothing new happens. Maybe email, if it's like for work, is not the greatest like version, but doing Reddit or Twitter or all the other like distraction stuff might work better. I know I'd want it. But yeah. All right, so we're I'm still trying to figure out where this is like going wrong, because we're not having that comment. What was it in feed verify? Cargo registry, storage T, next signature. Mod. Self.next signature. Index from bytes signature. So where do we get signature from? Oh, that's why you subscribe to weekly newsletters and stuff. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I'm too much of an addict, like an internet addict, to like do just weekly newsletters. But I wish there were like daily newsletters. I feel like Reddit could fill that, but they don't, you know, if they're doing the full expansion thing, they might just like not want to. New.reddit.com. Yeah. New. Damn it. Edit. Stuff. Alright, we're not doing that. Okay. Self.signatures, write a signature. What's a signature? A signature comes from the Dalek crate. So where are we failing? So ensure there. So we're doing ensure there, not zeros, no signature found. Ensure that the true. So Rihanna says Reddit for daily news would be bad because full of fascists. But by daily news, I mean from the things you subscribe to. Like, I like the Rust subreddit. That's where I stay. I don't go into the other ones because you're right. But just getting the Rust one and maybe like a music one, maybe like you know, there's a few things there. You can like pick and choose. Which is different from the problem of what to do about fascists. I hope that not like here's the exactly no newspaper style, because that would be like, look at all these black and brown people coming from places invading and taking our women. I don't know, it sounds pretty terrible. Also, oh my god, I just that thing where, you know, we the Western countries bomb the Middle East, and then people are like, oh shit, everything's getting bombed and, you know, extremists are taking over. I don't want to be here. And then people are like, no, you can't also come here. We bomb your place and, you know, you can't come here. And it's like, oh, what? And they're like, hey, you know what? Let's re-open coal mines and have like mass people dislocation because of rising temperatures, but sure as hell don't come here either. You know, it's just, yeah. I wish we would do something about that as like a people, because it's not going to end well and we all know it. some other people are like, hey, it's funny, and then, you know, like stuff like that's way more important than the stuff that I'm doing, for example. But all the techies are heads down. Oh god, I'm gonna go on a rant here. I don't want to go on a rant here, but I think we need to bear some responsibility here for our actions and try and figure this shit out before it figures itself out, and that's not gonna end well. Blup. Okay. If not zeros, so not zeros. Actually, we can inline this. Or find node. We can inline this too. Open with key. Self.bibfield.write. Inline. Put node. Inline. Inline. They're like super short functions. Inline, put signature. So actually I'm thinking like, what's a good level of inlining? And I think every function that doesn't have any branching is a really good candidate for inlining. And then if you have like lots of function calls like this one, I know, probably not. But it's like more or less a gut feeling kind of thing. You know, the optimization path should be like measure first, figure out where your bottlenecks are, and then start optimizing. We can probably do like a bunch of inline calls as you're like going along. This is just distractions, by the way. And stuff. Does this work now? Cargo check. Debug storage. All right. So we can finally derive debug there. What else? Oh, by the way, did you see that all of these things are no longer going to be required, which I'm really excited about. They're redoing Rust's system where you no longer need to do extern crate and no longer need to do mod. So all you need to do is the use statements. And then there's going to be a re-export statement explicitly for re-exporting stuff, which is going to land for the 2018 edition, which I'm super excited about. Because it removes a lot of the boilerplate at the top of your functions. It's gonna, yeah, it's just a good thing. Again, they keep on streamlining it because people were like talking about how to make, how to redo the whole module system, and they realized, well, we can't really get that for the 2018 edition, but we probably can for the whatever comes after that. So they're just gonna like streamline and get all the stuff. Yeah, so there were several posts about modules. I linked one, which was the initial intent, which was put out by Aaron Turon last year after Rustfest Kiev. I believe Rustfest happens twice a year. But that was like the, what do we want ideally? And, you know, people were like, yeah, this is really cool, but details. And then people were like, oh God, okay, this is very different. So instead, what they're going for is non-breaking changes. Because why change? Never understood why it was never implicit. I always felt that I just did it because, yeah. So they figured out, you know, if we make all the paths relative, that solves a big problem. If we make all the things, because I believe Rust C has a include kind of thing. Yeah, crate name, emit, print. So there's one thing where you could do rust c dash dash include or something, and then you give it a crate name foob, and then it includes it. So that's already like passed through rust c because it's in your cargo toml. And the reasoning is, well, if it's in here, you definitely want to include it also, right? So then all these extern crate statements become implicit, and then by using rustfix, you'll have just a tool that reformats your whole package to remove those and like do all that stuff. And the Rust compiler for a 2018 edition is kind of like, hey, you probably shouldn't be using extern crate because there's only like a few good reasons to ever use it. For example, I believe for aliasing, maybe they might add like an aliasing thing somewhere else, which is kind of useful. So yeah, it's just gonna get better. Cargo T. I still don't know why our thing is failing though. But yeah, again, like the Rust team is looking at the small paper cuts, the small speed bumps, and trying to figure out ways to make it better, which I'm excited about, because that's the way a language should go. Like, hey, find out what doesn't work and try and make it work, and then once it works, you continue. I hope they fix Clippy at some point. Like having just a Clippy unstable together with the Rust language server and like Rust format, that all together will be so good. Yeah. Good. All right, so random access memory. That's where our error is. And the question is why? Random memory could sync 120. Oh my god, my thing's doing the weird buffer thing, which really annoys me. So we're trying to read. So offset and length should not be bigger than self.length, which is fair. All right. So let's redo this better error. This is a pretty shitty error, so let's improve this error. Right, because if this thing throws, we should be getting a better response back than what we're getting right now, because we're trying to read beyond the bound, and we don't know what the existing length is, and we don't know which bound we're trying to read to. So by giving us those numbers in the error message, you get a better debug experience, which is useful. So I think I should write errors the way I write errors in JavaScript, in all fairness. Random access memory. Memory sync dot read. Read exceeds length. Bounds. Length becomes that. Rust. Format? No. I'm trying to get the Rust pretty printer display trait. I want to see what they recommend for showing stuff. There we go. Then we do format there. Self.length, comma, offset. So we start at offset, length, like that. I'm gonna close that. Cargo check. So what does it say? It says expected token, comma. Oh, there we go. So that works. All right. Random access disk. Sync. Unsure. Could not satisfy length. All right. So what we're trying to do as U64 not longer than self.length. That looks like a bug to me, by the way. So I wonder why U64 is there. Huh, weird. Oh, because the seek stuff, I guess, needs it. New len. Offset as U64. Ah, that's fucked. All right. All right. Okay. Hypercore. All right. So what we're going to do now, I hope it made sense so far. What we've been doing so far is we've been replacing a bunch of like the error messages just so they make a bit more sense. Here we go. Right. Random access memory sync read bounds exceeded. All right. Huh? What's that? unturned X. Have you seen this instant real-time live code evaluation Vim plugin? Will be handy with REPLs. Even there is even one for Rust. Huh? Interesting. No, I haven't. I wonder what it's for. So I don't use too many REPLs, but maybe it's useful. Also, I use I don't know. Let's check it out in a sec. Yep. Yeah, I wish it wouldn't do this thing, by the way, where it says, oh, it comes from libcore result. That's like super unuseful. What I wish it would do is figure out that this comes from the one module I called, especially like the ensure part. That would be like way more useful. I wonder if that could be done in the what do you call it, in the failure module, not like part of standard error, but just part of failure, so it becomes clear where it comes from. Let's take a look. REPL for the Rust programming language. Oh, interesting. Stacking asks, instead of doing this half stand-up dance, why not buy a standing desk? It's the best investment I've ever made. So it is a standing desk. I'm standing up. I've got like a stool thing, which I kind of like, and I like being able to like alternate real fast between like standing and sitting. Plus, my desk is super tiny, so I don't know. Maybe it's annoying to watch, but I'm very comfortable. So I hope that makes sense. Meta Kirby, interactive scratchpad for hackers. Oh, pretty cool. Watch the right side. Oh, that's interesting. I'll start this one. It's pretty cool. Thanks for sharing, Unturned. Now, the question is, do I really like this error message here? Slash ensure. So I think we can make this even smaller. So we try this again. Oh. We need to recompile. Oh, damn it. So it doesn't like that. So stacking asks, what do you really get out of a REPL that the playground can handle? I'm thinking a REPL might have like offline support, which is useful. You could also do a thing where you can upload a thing from the REPL directly into a gist and like open it in the playground or something. Probably. I don't know. All right, self length. Yeah, this probably makes sense. All right, I'm down with this error. It's like nice and concise. It doesn't do the whole thing where we include the method and all this stuff, which sucks to write, and we can more or less infer it out already from the stack trace, but with a bit more effort. But if we talk to people, we might be able to optimize that. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. So we can include this thing there. random access memory. Oh, there we go. We were doing the wrong package. There we go. Rebound succeeded. 96. What did this thing show again? Standard format display. Longitude, latitude. Like that. Yeah, alright. I think this makes sense. Where it says, yo, we're trying to read. This is the current one and this is the thing. Just makes us realize what we're trying to do here. I think that's good. That's good enough. We'll just commit this. All right, let's see if this works. This might take a little bit to compile, but not too long because we haven't included too much stuff. Hopefully. All right, so that one worked. Now this one. So stacking, when'd you get the standing desk? All right, cool. So we have now updated both of those. And we can update both. So disk went to 0.3.2 4 or 5 months ago. Ah, cool. Yeah, I was always like under the impression that like a standing desk is super expensive. Yeah, that's what I saw. Like 1,800 bucks. Like even the IKEA one is like between 400 to 600, if I'm not mistaken. I thought, Jesus, that's so expensive. And you know, there's more important stuff. That's why I got like a 40 euro like standing desk thingy. Chair was a bit more expensive though. But you're saying you liking it? Like if I was to get a standing desk, I would also get like one of those proper chairs. I forgot what they're called, but they got like the mesh thing. They're like really comfortable and really like good for your posture, supposedly. Disk memory 0.2.2 Merkle tree stream Hypercore cargo T. Let's see if this works. It should. Oh, you never got into the whole chair craze? Funny. can imagine it's like really good for ergonomics and stuff. But the main thing for me is that just being able to stand up and walking around and going to the gym every other day or something. Like eating healthy, getting enough sleep. I feel like that will last you like long enough time. Also the taking regular breaks for like wrists and stuff. I think if you do that, you can like have a good career in tech without everything breaking. Yeah, it's so true. Wait, but did you end up spending like $1,800 on the desk, or did you like get $400 on it? Because I believe the chairs I'm talking about are like 1,000, which I'm refusing to pay. But this one place where I used to work when I was in my early 20s, they used to have those chairs and they were like really, really nice. But I could pay minimum wage, so Alright, so is this failing? Rebounds exceeded 96 over 160. Now the question is why? Better oh, cool. So the IKEA desk. Nice. Oh, glad to hear it's like a good desk. I was wondering about that. Maybe if I like ever have the space for it and I get tired of this one, I'll switch. The uplift desks. Uplift desk. Height adjustable standing desk. Oh, interesting. Oh, they also have this funky thing. That's kind of interesting. Huh. I guess that makes sense. Cool. Blip. Oh my god. Jesse says, I need a new chair, but I can't decide what to get. So you keep sitting on a broken one. Oh my god. I feel like at that point, just get any chair. Spend like $200 on a chair, it doesn't matter. It might last you like 2 years and it's great. Because getting your hips repaired is going to cost you more than the overhead of getting a chair now. Probably. At least that's my take on it. Yeah. Yeah, I get it though. That's fuck. Yeah, you gotta watch out with your hips. I don't know how old you are, but I'm guessing not yet 50, perhaps not even 40. And those are like the fun ages when you start noticing what you did in the other half of your life. Nah, like even with healthcare, like healthcare doesn't make pain go away, does it? Makes it so you can get an operation to get your hips fixed, but then you also have like 5 months of recovery. And healthcare or no healthcare, you're still screwed. Like repairs are no are no replacement for maintenance, right? Like prevention is the best way if you can. You're 37. Oh shit. Nice. Yeah. Well, 37. It's just midway. You still have like half your life before you can retire. So hopefully, maybe not. Actually, not hopefully. I hope you get to live at least twice. I'm just thinking myself a grave here. Yeah, I'm 26. I don't have any right of speech about being old. Better persistence. There's get a chair then. Yeah. I guess your hips don't lie. Someone? No? Yeah? All right. I'm sorry. I think dingus is not really offensive. I call my friends dingus. I think it's alright. I feel again it's like a very very Aussie thing to say. But I still don't know why this thing is failing. This is the type of thing where you like actually need to pay attention, and then we're not paying attention, which means, you know, we're just not paying attention. Yay for Fridays. Yay, new things. Dr. Steve Brule? Who's Dr. Steve Brule? Fuck. Wow. Alright. Oh, what's actually spinning right now? H-top, OBS, H-top, lots of OBS. MPV, Pulse Audio. MPV is taking up not a lot of resources. But OBS is spinning like hell. Alright. Stacking says, I forgot that today was Friday. You're missing a whole day. Yeah, you and me both. Like, I feel like yesterday was Monday, but it wasn't. Maybe yesterday was Tuesday because we flew and I lost the whole week. I mean, last Thursday was the first time Hypercore passed. And now we're still debugging Hypercore about as far as we were before. We added like a whole bunch of stuff and we fixed like a whole bunch of bugs, but it doesn't feel like progress. It just feels like putting out fires. But yeah. I guess this week's a weird week. Because the week before, everything was great, even though it was like missing a whole day. Just felt like, oh yeah, it's like a full week. And this week it's like, nah, we barely did anything. Maybe it's also because I didn't work on the weekend. Oh my god. The strep throat. That sucks. Yeah, I've been having something similar with just being sick. That sucks a lot. But so a thing, pro tip, if you want to like get rid of it, I've found a way in which you can get rid of it in under 24 hours, which is brush your teeth after every single thing you eat. Do like the gargle with like the throat thing with like both salt water, like every now and then, and what's the other thing called? Like the mouth water stuff. Just gargle your throat like every other hour or something. And like keep brushing your teeth, floss everything, and like drink hot tea. And my theory is here and like the strepsils or whatever also work. So my theory is those things need to grow on something. So like the strep throat needs like a pretty filthy environment. Mouthwash, that's the word. So it needs to grow somewhere. And if you just like keep the whole thing sterile, then your body is like, well, great, it can't really grow on anything, and we're like putting up these defenses here, and it like pretty much goes. And then you more or less need to keep it up over the next few days for it to really go away. And that mostly means use mouthwash after every meal, brush your teeth after every meal, and tea is great. But then, you know, it worked for me like over the weekend. I got like a sore throat. I did that, like also with the saltwater rinse and everything. Got rid of it in one day. And then I like let it go and I was like a little bit back, but I don't know. Maybe it'll help. I always hate when my throat hurts. It like prevents you from sleeping well. Also, at least that's for me. Yay, sickness advice. Come for the code. Stay for the hot tips. All right, so we're trying to figure out where we're going wrong. Failure backtrace internal. No. Nothing but a lurker says code. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, let me know how it works out. Like the amount of salt that I like to put in it is just that if you taste it, you're like, holy shit, it's like seawater. You can't have that. I don't know. Nothing but I don't like your comment there. Seems a bit mean. I mean, Rust's pretty great. So I don't know what you're talking about. Alright. Alright. Alright, where were we? I was scrolling through this and trying to figure out how to fix this. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, so a bit further up the top. Source librs 124. There we go. Next signature, and then read. And this is where it fucks up. Right. Read. Then failure error message RS. There we go. So random access storage. Read storage hypercore storage mod 136. Mod 136. Let bytes. Self signatures read header offset. Oh, yeah. Print line. Is range. So the lower bound is lower 64 times index. And then we get that. And that should work. So stacking is replying, hey, can we like keep it civil, please? Like, if someone makes gnarly comments, then take the high road. At least that's what I try and do. Like, yeah, if someone doesn't like Rust, that's fine. I wish they'd keep to themselves though. But I appreciate you being defensive here. But more like, yeah, what are we gonna do about it? All right, so we have a problem there. So cargo t dash dash test feed. Right, let's see if this works. So the lower bound is supposed to be 64. Because we're trying to read the index. So self.signatures.read. All right. Self.signatures.read. And then it says read bounds exceeded because we're trying to read from 96 So total length is 96, right? And then we try and get there. So we are getting there. Oh, weird. All right. I wish we could like do a trace. Rust. Stack trace. I wonder. That's not gonna fly. So JavaScript has a cool one which is called console.trace. We'd be able to like just trace the thing where we're calling from. Can't do that right now. So we're trying to read something with 96 and we don't know where it comes from. All right, so we need to hop back in here. Because apparently it's not from there because we're not reading that. 96 is 3 times 32. So I'm guessing we might be reading the wrong one there. Lib unwind, backtrace, new unresolved, internal, backtrace, new, failure, error, convert, sync methods, read, random access memory. Fuck it, I can skip this one. Should I? No, I should actually take a little break, like a 3-minute break, because my hand's hurting a little bit. So that's a good sign that I'll just pour myself some water and be right back. All right. Yo. Done. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Pyom, 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 pyom. Oh, I guess Lurker went away also. Good. Cool. Yep. Alright, so let's try and see if we can figure this thing out. Alright. So we have some error with the storage thing because we're getting the wrong numbers in. We want different numbers. So the error we're getting is we are reading 64 bytes, which is correct, but from the wrong offset. So this should be a multiple of 64. And it's not good. Hey, Weston Grimm, welcome. Nice of you to pop by and say hi. Yep. So self signatures.read. So store Congo signatures. Dearest path, join name, and here we do just the thing. Okay, that's great. There's 32. All right, so 64. So what should be happening is, I get it. So we're reading the first signature, or the second signature. Sorry, and it should start at 64. What's going on there? Oh, I'm kind of interested now. But we have a 32-bit offset for the header. And apparently, that first one didn't get written. So we're doing a right put signature header offset plus 64 plus index and signature to bytes, right? Writing to header offset plus 64 times index, skip 64, reading from, there we go. So it says writing to 32, reading from 32, reading from 96. We never write to 96. Okay, that's a problem. That's our bug right there. All right, great. All right, let's take a look at this. True story. What is this? What's a true story? No pointers. all right. That's kind of funny. That was pretty funny. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Thanks for sharing. I wonder if we can like do some debug statements somehow. Rust inline debug statements. Log debug. Debug log level. This microcode is being made at compile time by passing -c debug assertions. If this option is not passed on debug statements, will be compiled. All right. So I kind of wonder about that. All right. We're we're probably not in the right place to start adding those quite yet, but it's kind of useful. So the question now becomes, why are we not writing those, right? So we do a thing here where we say append test. All right, so we have storage new, blah. That might evil feed, so that might feed.append test, evil feed.append tossed, feed.signature 0.unwrap, feed.verify. Ah, so I'm thinking feed.verify might be reading the wrong index there. Right, because it should only be reading it once. So this will probably also fail, which means that one doesn't exist. All right, now it should not work because it's an implement. Oh, weird. Evil feed.append. All right, let's try again. Called result unwrap on error. Feed.append. Feed.signature. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so that's our culprit right there. So signature here, feed.signature is reading out the wrong index. All right. That makes total sense. So lib slash signature self-storage dot next signature index. All right. So this is trying to read out the next signature. It's not getting it. So self-storage next signature. So storage mod slash next signature. Starting at index. All right. So it tries and read it from there, because index should be 1. It shouldn't be 1, it should be 0. Right. So index 0 reading from 32. That's good. Index 1 reading from 96. Not good. Just to ensure that evil feed.append. So it keeps on recursing even if it like shouldn't, I think. So here it's reading, and then, you know, if not zeros and bytes, okay, self-signature. Right, so we add 2 print statements. And that says, okay, we're going to read this, recurse further. Not zeros. And bytes. Okay, so we need to debug that instead of like print it. So our if else statement is wrong. What ends up happening is our if zeros function isn't working the way we were hoping it would be. So let's add a real quick regression test for that. Right. So that's pretty clear. Not zeros. Test tag zeros. And what do we do? Vec 0, 10. Assert not zeros and zeros. Nums. Actually, let's oh, we need to add a semicolon there. All right, let's see if it can pick up these inline tests. Test, append, set, and get positive bits. Cargo T. Feed test. Let's see if we comment this out. All right, so that seems to work. Line 12 ignored. Huh, weird. Append zeros. Test, set and get. Set and get total positive bits. Should detect zeros. Okay, so that seems to work the way it works. Not zeros. Great. I wonder if we could like do count zeros in the whole thing. Rust check if array is zero filled. Evacuate. Fill with value, resize, dead up, splice, drain filter, append, pop, push, dedupe, 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 truncate, reserve exact capacity from raw parts, shrink to fit. Doesn't seem like there's anything in there. 2vec starts with, contains, window iter as pointer, is empty, is probably the closest one, but that's just for length, right? So then we don't get anything else. Because literally what we want to do is check if the whole thing's zero filled. And I'm pretty sure we... Oh. I'm like quite sure that using SIMD or there's probably like a good way of checking it where you just send like blocks of 12 bytes or something or whatever down the drain and be like, yep, let's check if this is yep. Probably some like good convenience methods that could be done there, especially parallelized and all that stuff, but it's optimization. I mostly wanted it because it's easier to figure out. So there we go. Slash print line. If not zeros. All right. So if it's not zeros, it should actually be the other way around. That's how we fucked it up. If it's not zeros, proceed there. If it's zeros, proceed there. All right, let's take a look. It should fail probably, but differently. Signature verification failed. Dope. Okay, that's actually really, really good. Because that's the error we were hoping for. test feed. Signature verification failed. Verification failed. Crypto keep error. All right. So we can probably get a. Actually, let's save this. Storage mod. Print line. Let's save this thing where we say cool fix saving logic. Rena says, I don't really understand the activity thing at the top of the GitHub dashboard. It just shows a bunch of old PRs. Yeah, fair. I don't know. I feel like GitHub's dashboard isn't really useful. Even like the new version, don't really use it. There could probably be like I feel like GitHub doesn't get the way a lot of people work quite well. They aren't looking at workflow quite as much as they should. I talked to them like 6 months ago when they started off like this one beta program, and we like talked about some stuff. They were asking questions, and they were like, I was like, yeah, I've got like 500 repos, 1,000 repos, something like that. And they were like, holy shit, you're probably like an outlier. I was like, I don't know. I feel like GitLab is doing a better job at listening right now. Like GitHub's improving, but it's not as good. And you know, stuff like the dashboard, is it useful? No, not really. How can we make it useful? Probably figure out a way to show the stuff you actually care about. Like, hey, you put a PR and someone like replied to it. Here's probably the action you want to take. Maybe you want to look at all these stale PRs that we're about to close. Maybe I don't know. Like here's some stuff of the ownership stuff. Here's a summary of what happened in the last day. I don't know. But I feel there could be like really good experimentations done there. And then like, yeah, Stacking says GitLab shutters. I don't use it either. Like they get a whole bunch of stuff. I don't like it. Like GitHub's ahead in many ways, but then GitLab is creeping ahead in many other ways, which I think is very interesting. It's good. It's like I like if there's competition, right? Like healthy, good competition, not like the throwing shade type of stuff. I feel GitLab's it's shaping up nicely. Like when they introduced the large file storage, that was good. It's probably better than GitHub still. I think the dashboard is sort of useful for orgs. In the user dashboard, I just looked at what projects people I followed starred. Oh yeah, true. Might have changed, but it's yeah. I haven't tried GitLab in years, so I don't know either. I'm just talking, I guess, from what I've heard, from what I've seen from their releases. Because I don't know, like for example, Syndrasaurus made Sorhus made a fun extension which cleans up a whole bunch of like small nuisances. Like GitHub would do really well if they would just look at all the useful ones and be like, cool, yeah, let's implement this. Let's figure all this stuff out. Let's just make the website better for everyone and make this plugin redundant. That would probably be a really good experience. Oh yeah. Fair. Wait, what's the org dashboard? Actually, I'm not sure what you mean now. So here's our thing. And then there's nothing much going on here, I feel. Or are you talking about like the main one? Oh yeah, for example that your teams, but like the what are we even like looking at here? I don't know. Oh, you mean this one? Let's take a look. I never use this, by the way, ever. I guess this is useful. God damn it! I wish I would have like found out about this sooner, or thought about this, because I knew about it, but because I have these two. Like here's the other part, right? So there's this dashboard, and then there's this dashboard. Like this is a historical view, and this is like a pipeline view, and they should. I feel like they should be merged into one thing, just so you could be like, oh, okay, cool. Here's like the news, here's the status, here's like the project boards. Like find a really good flow for that. Because the thing that came out of like me talking with GitHub, first off, they didn't read my like initial post because you're like required to write a post, which I did. A couple days later, we had like a chat. So that was like good feedback for them. I was the first one they talked to, by the way, because I signed up for a thing like a feedback session, which I think it's fun to talk about now, like half a year later. But they didn't. I was like, yo, GitHub is my workflow tool. And they were like, no, don't you like use a different thing for that? And I was like, no, we don't have like a Trello board. We don't have like these external tools. Like I have, how many repos do I have? I was like, I have 600 repos and 700 repos. And I can't have like external tools for every single one of these things. It's not going to work. So I use this other like small tool, but you know, it's not great. And they, I don't know, I think that kind of caught them by surprise. I don't feel like they've really capitalized on that, because in a way they do have a monopoly. Like GitLab exists, but it's not really threatening them, I feel. And the way they make money is by getting corporates on board. But they should realize that our happiness depends a lot on it. If they want to have like good success, then you know they should improve that. And I think they're trying, but they haven't realized yet that become a productivity tool, become like a management tool for code, become a thing that managers will use and like designers can get in on, and the projects help a little bit, but then they can take it further. I think. I hope. Stacking says, I forget how much. I love how everyone forgets about Bitbucket. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like it's an Atlassian product, and Atlassian feels. I feel like anyone that ever uses Atlassian, it's always like a cost thing. You would use or you need to, because for example, Jira is the only like ISO certified like project management tool. So then you would use that. But it's like a corporate requirement. Just like Jenkins is, I believe, the only ISO verified CI tool or something like that, right? There's like these weird corporate constraints, and then yeah, you would use it. But in all fairness, like IRC is, or Slack is the better chat tool. I prefer IRC, but whatever. GitHub's the better like code management tool, but you know they don't have those verifications. Makes you wonder why not, but yeah. Fixed saving logic. What does that mean? Oh yeah, free private repos. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I wanted private repos, and I was like, I can't afford $7 a month, and I was like, I'm just gonna make everything open source. That was my conclusion. Like I tried Bitbucket, and I was like, nah, I'm just open source. Open source it is. Easy. Don't have any other choice. And yeah, that ended up working well. And now I have like free GitHub for life, which is kind of fun, I believe. Because I helped out with the participation thing, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you add value to our platform, so here you go. That's free for you." It's kind of nice. It's like $7 a month. Not that it matters at this point, right? But still appreciate it. Oh yeah, that's true. That feels very true. But I feel like GitHub does have like just more money, so they get to like throw more money at problems, which usually means more marketing and polish and whatnot. What did we just fix? Oh, assistance logic. All right. And what was the error we're getting now? Something good, right? Oh yeah, signature verification failed, which is what it should be. So I think we're good in that regard. So what I'm thinking now for this module is cargo doc dash dash open. Oh, I want to show something here. We need a new open method. Probably. Oh, cool, by the way. Overwatch raised 10 million for breast cancer research. Hope it works out all right. Would be nice if it did. It feels like a okay thing to do, although it's like a big corporation feeding another big corporation, so who knows. But you know, at least there's a hint of progress there somewhere. All right, so we got the feed here, and we have a few initialization methods. First one is with storage. Then we have function new. All right, then we have roots. Get all the roots in the feed. But we should also have like one that says with options, I guess. Retrieve the data from the log, pub function signature. I don't know what this does. Get the signature for index or something. Roots, get all the roots in the feed. Let's take a look. What did I say I wanted to do? Yeah, I want to add a new one. So we have the default method. So we have several ones. You can pass a custom persistence backend. You can create a new one with a path. So you want to persist to disk, which is the most common one. Then with default, you get like just a random, what do you call it? Fuck, words, hard. With default, you get an in-memory backend and just like a random ephemeral key pair. But then there also needs to be a version that allows you to, fuck, words are hard today. Hold on, I'm done with this gum. We need one with like an option constructor. So you can pass it a key pair, but keep like a default backend and like do some other stuff. Show declaration. So here in source, we can see there's a Merkle tree instance, there's a key pair, there's storage, there's byte length, there's bit field, there's tree index. And the one we want to be able to configure is storage and key pair, I guess. Yep, those are two. So you know, at the risk of having like a double permutation, which is like with storage with keep air, which would suck, we can just do a constructor where you can like pass everything in. It just defaults to the default one, and then you get to modify it however you want it. So that would be called options, I guess, which is the lowest level you can get. So let's grab Pascal's blog / elegant library APIs in Rust, and then we look at builder pattern. You can make it easier to make complex APIs by chaining several smaller methods together. This works nicely with session types. See below. The derived builder crate can be used to automatically generate simpler builders for custom structs. Cool. Session types. So we can say builder setter into, and then channel builder. Oh, it just magically creates the thing, I guess, with a macro. Special info, token build, unwrap stuff. It's kind of nice. So we get this and we generate a builder for that. So I wonder how we would do this though. Set derived builder generates necessary compile time. This generated boilerplate code you didn't need to write. Get started, usage features. Tuple structs and unit structs are not supported as they have no field names. We do not intend to support them. When defining a generic struct, you cannot use a value as a generic parameter. Alright, so I'm guessing we should have a custom label. Builder pattern owned, immutable, extensible. So I'm going to config and allow hidden field, set visibility, builder private, builder setter skip on each field individually, setter visibility, setter type conversions with builder setter into. Nah, we just need to write our own builder pattern, I think. Like this is too complex. It's a fun thing though. So we want to create a thing where you can either pass it a backend and you can pass the key pair and you more or less get to choose which ones, which would be fun. So here we go. Open opt new, read true, write true, open foo, session type. Oh yeah, this is really fun, by the way. This is probably like one of my most favorite Rust things ever, because it relies on ownership stuff, and the borrow checker like enforces this. So what you can do here is you create a new package, you create a new instance of a thing, then you call a bunch of methods on it, and they call the finalize method, and that consumes the self and returns a new result. And then, you know, the prior methods you can no longer access, and that's enforced by compiler. So you can think of it as like a state machine. If all of these return a new thing, right? So in this case, you can do package new, insert yeah, and then, you know, you assign it back to the initial variable. At the end, you just, you know, you just continue forward. It's kind of fun. Like at the moment it's consumed, it's just done again. So the server one, you know, you can't push headers after body has been done, which is really useful. Pyum 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 pyum. It's really cool. Oh. Should probably read this. But yeah, we just need to the open foo text. All right. Feed builder. So there's almost 200 lines. Touch source / feed builder .rs pub struct feed builder feed use fee we have that, and then we go here, and then we say let's expose pub use feed builder pub mod feed builder. So there we have like our feed builder thing, and then we get to define some type stuff there, like all the methods and whatnot. It just generates it. And we can redo our default implementation to include that stuff also. It's going to be good. Phew. Let storage default self with storage, right? With storage, let keep air stuff. Yeah, so this should be using the builder internally, because we define a new Merkle tree, we define a new byte length, we define a new length. And the only two that we ever pass in are storage and key pair. Right, and in creating this, we can just overload it. So here we say open options, new, read true, write true, open foo text. Feed builder, new, create a new instance. Then we do that. Auto format, no it doesn't. So we get new, and then we say we can actually copy over the whole logic here. So what we might want to hold off on is the generate key pair bit. So that means we need to re-implement all these fields here. Bit field default, bit field tree, like there. Merkle new, so that's new, tree, key pair storage, those two leave. Self, create new instance, key pair storage go, bit field new, there. Now open, what's the final method here usually? That's useful. The OK of new special build on build, which returns a feed. Finalize the builder. So then we build it, and then we return self. Self dot Merkle, self dot Merkle. Byte length, bit field, tree. Actually, we can like remove all those fields. We just need one for key pair and one for the other one. We just make option key pair internally. That's a much better variation. Key pair, option, key pair. Something. And then we have the other one, storage, option storage. And then here we say we basically copy over all these things. Result, feed. With storage T, impl T, feed T. Storage T, storage, here it goes, of type T. Impl feed builder T, I think. Where T sync methods plus debug. Like that. I think we can also do these days. I think that's valid, but I don't like it. So that's nice. And then we have that. And then result self error with storage, with key pair, with other stuff. Storage T. So this feed builder, and then the new function. We self key pair none, storage none. Or actually, we should have a default version there, I guess. Oh, actually, no, we don't. We legitimately don't. So it just starts off as empty, and because it's the wrong type, it'll never flush. So we can add it to the build version, and then you get the right type. Key pairs, generate key pair. Yeah, I was planning to go to the gym like an hour ago, but haven't gone. it'll just go like an hour from now or something. Something like that. So use crypto key pair. Key pairs unwrap or does that work again? Close self.keyPair.unwrap or else pipe right key pair like that. And then we do the same thing for storage, but then we do it right there. Then we implement this one right there. Oh, fuck. And because we're implementing default there, that won't work. So we need to do this. Store, self, storage. Self with storage, no. We can just return storage there. And that should work. And then we have our key pair storage. And that's all we need. So cargo check. I doubt it. Cargo check. There we go. Unused parameter. Pub start feed. Crypto generate key pair. Lots of errors. That's good. Not found in module. Expected 1 to 9 possible tokens here. There we go. That's one bug. Sync debug. Debug. Ah, fuck it. Let's just copy the whole thing. Now it's just going to complain a lot. Let's see what our failures are. 9 previous errors. Store not found in this scope. Not found in this scope. Are you talking about me or are you talking about you? Because it's I'm sorry if I'm disgusting. Apologies. I guess after a while, you know, no one's chatting, so I'm just like getting lost in my own stuff. I just get more and more disgusting. I'm so sorry. That's better. I'm just like so used to. Oh my god. That's not great. I'm more or less trading off like, hey, I haven't like been able to stream in like the last month. Ever since I came back from Australia, I've like just done one stream. So I'm just doing stuff. I'm sorry. The power of a tissue. Yeah, pretty much. That's my face. Is it clean? More or less. Can't find type key pair. Let's try this out. Oh, that's great. Pop out bitfield. Right, so that doesn't work. All right, we have 8 previous errors. Failure error can go. What's the next one? Path buff can go. RC can go. Right. Did you mean key pair? Yes, I did. So on 19, we lower that to key pair, single, lowercase. 7 errors left. So store, not found in the scope. Store, storage, store. Cargo check, 5 errors left. So we're not using sign, hash, and signature. Five errors left. Okay, great. But fewer problems. Filter resolve. Use of undeclared typer module storage. 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 4 errors left. Can't find type T in this scope. All right, so impl feed builder. Two errors left. So pubfun build result feed expected 2 type arguments. Yeah, it's a feed of type. Feed. That's a result feed of feck. That's a really good point. So what type of feed are we returning in this thing? Well, it's generic. So it's a feed of type T, where I wonder if this works actually. Cargo check, 1 left. Expected 2 type arguments. Oh. Okay, there we go. So we got that line good. Well done. All right. So option storage T cannot be formatted using question. The trait standard format is implemented for T. Set format debug. Storage plus debug. Storage RAS methods. Okay, so we're not using node. Let's remove that error warning. And then we're saying where T sync methods plus debug. The trait standard format debug is not implemented for T. Is it because oh, there we go. Where T is that? Does that solve it? Type problems. Found feed. All right, let's take a look at the issues here. So storage new, expected crypto found storage. Did we mess up our key pair and storage? All right, that's good. Key pair and storage. Oh, there we go. That's one problem. Now a few more errors left. Expected result. Okay, so that needs to be okay. And then there's one more left. Expected type parameter. Storage T. Found struct RAM sync methods. That is very fair. All right, so this says RAM sync default. So feed of type T. Builder pattern generic. Where there's a single set file T, a set foo T, an example of this is. All right. You were right, by the way, about the power of a tissue. I feel so much better. It's kind of fun. I bet this influence drop. All right. I wonder how to do this for like generics properly though. Because what we want to do here is say this is now our type T. So RAM sync default becomes our type T. Right? Yeah. But it needs to know it ahead of time, so it needs to know this statically. Like, what's the size of this thing? In this case, we don't know because we only check the value later on. So that's hard. Oh, this is kind of fucked up. So with builder, choose between generics. Rust builder function of generic structure. All right, so it takes core and core T. Consuming builder pattern seems like it. Field parser, type default parser. So what's the problem here? type parameter found type struct. So pp Rust parser renderer default parser. All right, and then it just says R is not of type HTML renderer, so it will never compile. Good solution if you want to have default values of the right type is to bound P and R to implement default trait this way. Eek. They return a reference of something that probably will die inside the render method. The string you allocate in a render method. There's no lifetime of the object that is pointed by the reference, so can I guarantee that reference value? You can specify a lifetime parameter, but blah 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 blah. Damn it. Consuming builder pattern. Rust consuming builder pattern seems like the better option. A two-ron. There we go. All right. I don't know what to do here. Actually, we might need to try out where we build and we say the storage one is the final one, and that always returns one of those. All right, so it says feed builder. Yeah, because it's just two methods, we can more or less repeat ourselves, which is fine. Maybe if we like make it a defined order. All right. Oh, hey. Stacking says, thanks for a good time. Go get some NyQuil and get some sleep to knock this cold out before your flight tomorrow morning. Well, hope you have a good sleep and good luck on your flight. Fuck. I know exactly what you're in for, so I hope you won't have a too bad experience. But it was good having you. And perhaps see like another time. All right, I'm gonna fix this and I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna fix this, I'm gonna have lunch, and then I'm gonna go to the gym, and then we should be all right. So we have struct feed builder, which will only take a key pair. So let's just do a thing where it takes a key pair method that returns a storage feed builder, and then we return one more, and then we're good. All right. Oh my god, Stacking says I have 3 flights in 3 days. It's graduation season. They're all on the same weekend. Oh fuck. Like make sure you get those decongestant pills, and like take them I believe 1 hour before or half an hour before you like go up, and 1 hour before you go down. Because if your ears pop or if you like end up with the pain, you risk ear infections and stuff. I didn't know it ahead of time. Also, one of these does miracles for planes. Like combine all that, like have chewing gum, have enough water, and you should like get through it all right. Because yeah. If you're congested and you like go up, it fucking sucks. So good luck. Derive debug. Pub struct feed builder. So yeah. Feed builder final. Pub struct feed builder key pair. Key pair, key pair. Yeah, let's just do one variation. Create a new instance. All right. So yeah, actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the stream short. I think I just need to go. I'm noticing I'm getting like really tired. And we've been going for 3.5 hours, so I think it's time to say goodbye. It was good having y'all. I'm gonna finish this up and I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna have some food in whichever order, I think. So see y'all later. Bye.